Hey guys, today we're going to learn about paying for college. So our objective is to explore methods of paying for college, and this is page 79. All right, well there's a lot of information here, so I'm going to basically just go over some of this information, and then we're going to look at a word problem that kind of goes with it. Okay, so one method that you can pay for college is by using a grant. Now, not everybody qualifies for a grant, so let's look at what it is. Money for students who are the most in financial need. Students do not have to repay grants. Some grants are also awarded based on cultural background, disability, field of study, etc. So not everybody gets a grant, especially if you have a wealthier family, then you're not going to qualify for, let's say, a federal grant. There are definitely grants to help those families that aren't as fortunate so that they can still send their kids to college. But you can also get some grants based on your cultural background, or maybe you're going into a really specific field or a field where they need more people to study it, and so they might give you an incentive by giving you a grant. Okay, also having a disability, you might get a grant for that. So it's definitely something that's worth looking into, because the best thing about a grant is that you do not have to repay it. It's like free money going towards your education. And here I just put a couple examples. So federal Pell Grant, federal Teach Grant, disability grant. Okay, now next one is a scholarship. So scholarships are also a form of financial assistance, but they're awarded to students based on achievement. So let's say I'm a really great track star, I might get some money towards my college for my track abilities to do track in college. Or if I have really high grades, I might get an academic scholarship. And this is also, you do not have to pay it back. So it's great when you get a scholarship. A football scholarship is an example, an academic scholarship. However, they don't just hand you the money, especially like, let's say, an academic scholarship. They're not just going to hand you over the money and say, okay, it's yours no matter what. If your grades drop or you don't keep your end of the bargain, then you can lose your scholarship. Same thing, if you got injured, let's say you have a football scholarship and you had a really bad injury and you weren't able to play anymore, then you could lose your scholarship. So you have to definitely make sure that you're keeping up with whatever the requirements are that go with that scholarship. Okay, next one is a work-study program. And this says students earn money through part-time work to pay for tuition, books, fees, etc. And so here's an example, is working at the college campus bookstore. So I could get a job on my college campus, and then the money I make, I could use it to help pay for my schooling or for books or fees or whatever. Okay, tuition is what it's called. It's the actual paying for your classes part. Okay, all right. A few more examples of work study at a college campus would be like working at the computer lab or the library or a cafeteria, anything where you could get hired and work and go to school at the same time. Okay, loans. Money borrowed from a lender to be paid back with interest. So we've got federal student loans and we have private student loans. Now we're going to look down here at some benefits of federal student loans, so I'm going to save that for later. But basically, federal student loan means a loan from the government, and private student loan would be like if I get a loan from a bank. All right, and then so that you do pay back. Okay, work study program is you're earning the money, so it's not free money, you're working for it anyway. Okay, savings. So money you or a parent has saved over time. So if you have a savings account or a special account that's towards your college, then that would be another choice. So that would be a good thing to talk about your parents and say, hey, what's the plan for college? Do we have any money set aside yet or not? And then the last one is military. So this is money in return for past or future military service. And examples, ROTC, which we now have a program. And this, you owe 4 years of service after you complete the ROTC program. So they'll pay for your college with the agreement that you're going to then serve in whichever military branch that you picked for 4 years. And if for some reason you don't serve, then you would have to then pay back the money that they spent for your schooling. And then GI Bill, that's a bill that was passed for people who already served, that they can now go to college for free, have the military pay for it. Okay? All right, so now let's look at federal student loan benefits. Okay, so the first one is it's funded by the federal government. It has a lower fixed interest rate. So fixed means it can't change. So sometimes with the market, interest rates can go up and down, and so it wouldn't be able to raise the interest rate on you. It would be fixed at whatever it was when you signed for it. And then the interest rate would be lower. The federal government can give you a lower interest rate than, let's say, a bank might be able to. Okay, also, this is a good one, postpone paying off loans until after graduation. So you can actually go through your schooling and you don't have to worry about paying off any of your loan until you graduate. Okay, so within a few months of you graduating, you have to start paying back the loan, but you at least don't have to worry about it during school. And they actually have a couple different types. Some of it, while you're at school, there's no interest and it doesn't start until after you graduate. Some loans, it'll be accruing interest, but you just don't have to start paying until after you graduate. So you want to make sure you get the best loan possible. And then you may not need a credit check or cosigner. So sometimes if your credit's not very good or you're just young, so you don't have any credit, you have to get a parent to sign on it too, on a loan, or an adult. And so sometimes with federal loans, you don't have to get somebody else to co-sign. All right, and then possibility to lower monthly payments or tie the payment to your income. So let's say I'm supposed to pay $500 a month towards my student loan, but based on the job that I have, I really just can't afford that. The federal government could work with you and say, okay, well, whatever you're making, we'll just take 10% of. And they'll work with your payments so that it's not unattainable. Okay, and then interest may be tax deductible. So when you do your taxes every year, which you'll have to do as an adult, you can actually get a tax write-off or hopefully get a little money back from all the interest that you paid for. And then may have loan forgiveness for public service. So here's a few jobs like a nurse, a teacher, a police, firefighter, etc. There are some jobs where I could take a loan out, pay for my schooling, and then if I work in specific, let's say as a teacher, if I work in a specific school that's in need of teachers that maybe is low income or whatnot, then I can actually get the government to forgive some of my loan that I had taken out so I don't have to pay it back. Okay, so loan forgiveness, that's a great one. You definitely want to look into whatever your profession is that you're aiming for and see if they have that program. Okay, so now let's look at a word problem that has to do with paying for college. So, Madeline wants to attend the University of Texas for $10,000 per year. She has received a grant for $500 and an academic scholarship for $4,000. She plans to work while attending school to pay off 25% of the remaining cost and take out a loan for the rest. How much will she need to earn at her job and how much will she need to borrow? Okay, so let's take this one step at a time because there's a lot of information there. Let's start with looking at what money is she getting that she does not have to pay back. Let's just take away what she doesn't have to worry about. Okay, so we know that this is the $10,000 that she has to pay, and we know that the grant, because this is money I don't pay back, and the scholarship that I don't pay back. So I'm going to put that together first. So $4,000 plus the $500 would make $4,500. So that's like the free money that she's getting. So I'm going to start by subtracting that from what she owes. So 10,000 minus 4,500. So 0, 0, 10, 9, 10, 5, and 5. So now I know that she still owes $5,500. So I've used this and I've used this. Okay, now let's look and see what was next. She plans to work while attending school to pay off 25% of the remaining meaning of this that she still owes. So I need to find out what 25% of this is. So percent of a number, I make this into a decimal and I multiply. So 5,500 times 0.25. 0, 0, 25, 25, 27, placeholder, 0, 0, 10, 10, 11, 0, 0, 5, 7, 3, 1, and there's 2 decimal spots, so 2 spots. Okay, now this is the 25%. That means that's what she's going to pay for with her job. So how much will she need to earn at her job? So at the job, the 25% would be $1,375. Okay, and then she's going to take out a loan for the rest. Well, how much is the rest? Well, if that's what she owes and that's what she's going to pay for with the job, then we just need to subtract. So 5,500 and then minus 1,375. 4, 10, 9, 10. That's 5, that's 2, that's 1, and that's 4. So then the loan will need to be $4,125. All right. So that is an example problem. We're going to do several more in class so we can practice some different situations where we would need to calculate about how to find what you owe for paying for college. All right, guys. Well, keep practicing and thanks for watching.